relationships to help all of us. Harvey shows up constantly for the LGBT community. As a leader behind the Small Businesses United for All Families, he helped make possible that overwhelming coalition that soundly defeated that unjust and unwelcome amendment. And as a board member for Community Shares of Minnesota, and as a hardcore cyclist, touring 300 miles with the Red Ribbon Ride. I know. Harvey is putting skin in the game, and he's putting money in the accounts of some of the hardest working organizations around. As a longtime supporter for Outfront Minnesota, he's made our work possible. And with that, a world where students are a little bit safer and marriage is a little bit gayer. Harvey, I am so very proud to help shine light on your selfless, relentless work. You inspire me and so many others. I'm so grateful I have the opportunity to change the world with you.
Adam is one of the people I most admire in this community, so to be introduced by him is quite a privilege. A Lifetime Achievement Award, what does that mean? While a number of thoughts immediately come to mind, I first have to acknowledge that there's so many others that could be here tonight receiving this award, except that AIDS took them away from us before they even had a chance. So I have to pause and remember, and I share this award with them. My next thought was, I must be really old. But no, I really don't feel old. And so then I keep moving on. It's like, well, really, there's so much of my formal leadership has not been in the GLBT community. It's been doing other things in other communities. So I start to think about the things that I've done over the years, and some of my involvement over the years. I think about my 30 years as a member of the Minnesota Freedom Band, my 10 years as an active participant in the Red Ribbon Ride, my years of activism in the local Jewish community working for GLBT inclusion. And then I think back to the mid-'70s. I remember planning some of the really first mega fundraisers for the Minnesota Committee for Gay and Lesbian Rights. It had just changed their name from the Minnesota Committee for Gay Rights to the Minnesota Committee for Gay and Lesbian Rights. We didn't have an appreciation for the total inclusivity of our community, and we barely had any acknowledgement then of the bisexual and transgender communities that are part of our community. So this award isn't specifically about the GLBT and allied communities and the work I've done in those communities. The leadership roles that I've most often taken on have been in community and business organizations. Whether that's my neighborhood organization, as Adam mentioned, People for Parks, Community Shares in Minnesota, and I'm going to stop here and say, for Community Shares, if your workplace has a workplace giving program and Community Shares is not part of that program, it should be. Many of our organizations here in the GLBT community benefit from Community Shares. If you want to talk to me about it, I'm happy to talk to you about it. Metro Independent Business Alliance. I truly believe that being out and open in community, that by being out and open in community, we combat homophobia on a daily basis. The power of being out, being open, and sharing our lives truly came to fruition in the last few years in the Vote No Amendment campaign and the victory for marriage equality in the legislature this year. We didn't win those battles because we deserve equal rights. We won those battles because one by one, we built relationships with people who perhaps never met a gay or lesbian or bisexual or transgender person before. The absolute power in coming out and sharing who we are, whether in person, on the phone, in the media, or however we're able to do that. That's what moved people to recognize that our lives, our love, our hope, and our dreams are just as valid as theirs. A dear friend of mine has referred to me as an elder in the community. It's taken some adjustment for me to accept that. kind of hard to deny it when you receive an award like this. It doesn't mean that I'm old necessarily, but it does mean that I've been around, I have experience, I have years of experience to share. Now, we start out on a path, and we follow that path, and the truth is we never know where that path is going to take us. My path has taken me so many places I never imagined it would. Be it performing for 3 presidential inaugural parades, officiating at the wedding ceremony of my niece, or meeting with the governor on small business concerns. Being an elder means that I have the responsibility to both guide a new generation of leaders and to step out of the way and allow them to lead. What I certainly found out in the last year is that it does not mean that I will simply sit back and observe. It's just not in my genes. But there are times when a leader does best by following and providing support to those who do take the lead. It's not in the quantifiable leadership roles that have led me to receive this award today. It's truly the sum of all those pieces. Doing the grunt work, chiming in when a word of support is needed, leading by example, or simply being there to listen. All of those activities and so much more are part of the fabric of my life. I'm grateful to have the support of family and my business partners, which have allowed me the flexibility, the time to volunteer, to do the volunteer work I've done, as long as I still get my work done at work. So, to my brother Rick, who's here tonight, and to our longtime employee and now our business partner, Pete Paulson, who is here as well, thank you for making that possible. Our collaboration makes First Tech the premier Apple specialist in the Midwest and a leader among our peers nationwide. I am so fortunate to have a partner in life who values the work I have done in the community and has provided a home where we support each other in our mutual passions. Thank you, Phil, for your love and support. And yes, after 38 years, we are finally engaged to get married. Even a few years ago, I never, ever would have imagined that was going to happen in our lifetime. I am so grateful to all the people, the organizations in this community that came together to make that happen. I am also humbled to receive this award with such a distinguished group tonight. Congratulations to Wild Rose Cafe, Minnesotans United, Royal Multaji, P-Fund Foundation, One Voice Mixed Chorus. It's quite a group to be part of. I'm so proud to be included in this group of honorees. And finally, thank you so much to the Board of Directors of Quorum for honoring me with this Lifetime Achievement Award.